Hi everyone, welcome back to the ClearPass video series. This is another video regarding the enforcement profiles. So in this video we will going to demonstrate how to enforce different roles by using the enforcement profile to the wireless users. So if you are new here, my name is Tharindu and I am working as a network consultant. So let's start the video. Okay, so as a quick recap, let's go through what we have done in our previous video. So in our previous video, we have configured the roles, IT, HR and finance role which we have configured, and then we have configured the role mapping policy, finance, HR and IT, and we map that one into the department attribute in the AD under the user accounts, and then we have configured the enforcement policies and we map those user roles into the allow access profile enforcement profile, and then we have configured a service and we have mapped all these things, finance, role mapping policy and the enforcement policy we map, and as the authentication method we are using EPIP and the authentication source is Active Directory. So that's the quick recap what we did it in our previous video. Based on the departments we will configure the enforcement profiles also. So let's jump into the profile creation. We can come into the configuration, enforcement and the profiles, then you can create the profiles based on your requirement. Keep it in mind, Aruba ClearPass have different kind of enforcement profile templates. You can see it in here. For Cisco and for the radius standard attributes we can do the VLAN enforcement, and these are for the agent based enforcement profile, TACACS, SNMP based. You can use these templates based on your requirement. In our scenario we are using Aruba radius enforcement profile, so we need to give some meaningful names in here. It is easy to identify when we are troubleshooting or when we are checking in our next sessions. So I will use IT user okay, and if you click on the attribute you can see Aruba-User-Role. So in here I will use IT. So keep it in mind, this is the user role which we are sending towards the controller. So this user role also should be configured in the controller, otherwise user will be landed on the default role which it is assigning under the authentication profile. So we need to create these roles also in the controller. I will show that one how we can do it. First we will finish the enforcement profiles in the ClearPass itself. So IT is done, saved. Click attributes. So this is for HR. Save it, save, and then we will map these profiles into the enforcement policy which we configured. We will come to the policies, we will go to the user enforcement policy rules, select this HR1, edit. We will remove allow access. Instead of the allow access we will send the HR1. Click on save, and for the IT also come here, remove and IT. You may have think now I didn't configure the finance profile. This is I will configure it in the later. I will show that if the user is authenticated, if we didn't configure this role in the controller, still user is not getting in the correct profile, it will hit on the default one. To demonstrate that one, I will keep that one as it is right now. So I will click on save. So our ClearPass configuration is done. So we will jump into the controller. In the controller, we have to configure the user roles now. So we will come to the roles. We have configure IT, and then we will add allow access policy in here. It's not mandatory to add the allow access. Based on your organization requirement, you can customize this policy, whatever the resources you want to allow the access, whatever the resources you don't want to allow the access. So in here I have nothing to restrict that much, so I will use allow all, and pending changes, deploy changes. I will create the HR one also. Come to advanced. I will add the allow all in here also, and then I will save my configuration. So let's start the testing now. So I already connected my finance user. This is the name, and you can see it got the authenticated role because we didn't configure the finance one. So we come to here, you can see in the ClearPass the access tracker, it will show that it got the finance user role and allow access profile. We didn't create the enforcement profile for the finance user, that's why it is getting the allow access one. And if it is sending the allow access profile towards the controller always will assign this authenticated role. You can see that one in the authentication AAA profile, and you can see the SSID. You can see .1x default authentication default role is authenticated. That's why it's always getting the authenticated role. If ClearPass is not sending any attributes toward the controller, it will keep the default one as it is. So now let's start with the HR user. Okay, now I have connect the second user, which it is part of the IT department. So you can see once the user is connected, it got the IT role. This role we already configured in the controller, so that's why it got the IT role. Let's go into the ClearPass and see how the access tracker is showing the information. So this is okay, Alex. You can see it is part of the IT user role, and now it is sending IT user enforcement profile. If you remember, in the previous one it sent the allow access enforcement profile. In the new one it is sending the IT user enforcement profile. That's why in the controller itself it will assign the IT role to the user. Okay, now I have connected the third user also. So in the controller you will see it got the HR user role, and let's go to the ClearPass access tracker, and then let's see. Okay, this is the username. You can see it got HR user role, and it is sending the HR enforcement profile. So it is authentication is successful, and user is getting the HR role in the controller. In the controller you can assign whatever the privileges, whatever the access you want to assign. As I mentioned earlier, you can define that one through the controller under the user roles. So let's configure the finance user for the finance enforcement profile also to complete our configuration. So we will come to the we will go to the enforcement profiles, click on add. Come to here, we'll configure the name and click on save. We'll come to the controller, we will come to the configuration roles, and then we will configure the finance role in here. Click submit, come to the finance, show advanced view, and then we will add the allow all profile, save the configuration, and then we will test the finance user again. And then I try to authenticate the user, but still it is getting the authenticated role. Let's troubleshoot why it is like that. So we will come to the ClearPass, and then let's see, and is authenticated. Oh, it is still sending the allow access profile. If you remember, yeah, we didn't modify the enforcement policy. So let's jump into the configuration, policies, user roles, and we will modify this one. We'll remove the allow access profile, and we will add the finance one. Click save, save again, and now let's authenticate the user again. Now let's see, now it is sending the finance user enforcement profile. Let's jump into the controller, we'll do a quick refresh. Yes, it is changed into the finance user role. Thank you for watching the video this much longer. So today's video we learned how to change the user role in the Aruba controller by using the enforcement profiles. So that's the main purpose of the enforcement profile, sending actions towards the NAT device. NAT device means network access device. That's why we are using the enforcement profiles in the ClearPass. So in next video we are going to do the certificate based authentication for the wireless users. So I know this one, I got many comments and many requests regarding this video. So next video will be the EAP-TLS, otherwise certificate based authentication for the wireless users. So let's meet in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video.